Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy, and if you're new here, welcome. So the other week I had done a video about why you are so attracted to toxic people, and I definitely recommend you watch that video before you watch this one. In that first video we talk about how the way your parents love you teaches you what you think love is in your relationships. And that's not the only way you learn what love is. You also learn what love is and how a relationship will be based on seeing your own parents' relationship. So I want to talk more about that in this video, and then I also want to dive into what love is, because at the end of the first video I was mentioning the way to heal from this and the way to change the way you view love is by learning what healthy love is. So let's talk about your parents' relationship growing up. So when you're a child, you're a sponge, you're an observer. So most of the time you probably sit back and you have watched your parents' dynamic between the two of them. You see how they fight, you see how they love, you see how they communicate. That gets programmed in your subconscious mind of, oh, this is how relationships are. This is how mommy and daddies love each other. Not only that, but I've talked about my mommy and daddy issue series. With your father figure as a male, you learn how to be a male figure through him, and you also learn how to love your partners through him. And then also as a woman with your mom, you learn how to be a woman through your mom, and you learn how to treat your partners as a woman. So you see how to be and you see how to treat your partners through your parents. If you had parents that were always fighting, always were up against each other, or you had parents that completely avoided each other, or you had a parent that was non-existent, you had a parent that cheated, that's what you're going to program to believe. That's what love is. That's how a relationship should be. That's what your potential future partner will be like. You don't really have a healthy ideal of what a healthy relationship should look like, and this can make you become terrified to have relationships because you see how unhealthy it was, and then you take that trauma with you and you're like, I don't want to do this again, and you either will learn from it and do better, or you will follow in your parents' footsteps. So this is the second way you kind of learn relationships and what love is. Now we have to understand love is very subconscious. That's why we can't control who we love. It's all programmed in your brain based on what you experienced love was as a child. Now that doesn't mean it can't change. It absolutely can. You can change the way you experience love by changing your view and changing your subconscious beliefs. So let's talk about what you probably think have been taught what love is. As a child, you probably were taught that love has conditions, especially if you grew up in an unhealthy environment. If you do this for me, I love you. If you don't do this for me, you're the worst. You are unworthy of my love if you don't do this for me. I'm going to punish you in some sort of way. Love is what you do for me and what you give. That's probably what you've been taught what love is when you grew up in an unhealthy home. So then you will take that with you, and you will think love and your worth is based on what you do for others, what can you achieve. You don't feel worthy of love just because of who you are and just because you're a valuable person in itself. And you will date someone similar to your parent where you will have a similar relationship. Whichever parent you have the unresolved trauma with, you're more likely to be attracted to that parent. There are similar traits to that parent in another person because, like we talked about in the first video, repetition compulsion, trying to resolve unresolved trauma through present situations. So let's dive into what is love, and there's different types of love. I'm not going to fully go into that because that's a whole video in itself, but we're going to focus on a few types, which is friendship love, familiar, parental love, infatuation, and then romantic love. So the very first love you love is parental or familial love, and like we talked about, when you're in an unhealthy environment, the type of love you learn is really toxic, and it's all about what you can offer and that you are worthless no matter what you do offer. or you are only worth what you offer, and then all of this can make you feel like you're unworthy of love, or love is very conditional. And then you're taught when you go into romantic relationships, your partner can do no wrong, or they can do whatever, and then you're supposed to stick by them no matter what, because that's exactly what your parent did, is they made you feel like you had to love them no matter what they did, and you were supposed to be by their side, but they could abandon you or not attend to you at any time. If you didn't love them, then you would get punished. So the healthy version, and the way that you should have been loved by a parent, is that this love is supposed to be unconditional. It's supposed to be instinctual. This is the place where they're supposed to take care of you, attend to your needs. They're supposed to be there to support you and give you a space where you can form a sense of self and you can grow, and where they are a safety net. They're supposed to be there in the background, like, hey, listen, you got it, trust in yourself. You can go through life and be okay, but I'll still be here if you need me. I love you. That's what familial love should be. This is where you learn how relationships work and what a support system will look like, or should look like. And if you didn't experience that, my heart breaks for you, and I'm really sorry. Now, the other love is friend love. I feel like infatuation, friend love, and romantic love can get confused, especially if the lines were very blurred in your upbringing, or you never really had someone that cared for you. You may confuse when someone cares for you. You may at least think that you're in love with them, but it's not really that. It's that you were just so deprived that you don't know the difference in the boundaries of friendship love and, you know, romantic love and infatuation. So friendship love is more, you care about the person, you enjoy spending time with them, you have fun times together, you have common interests and a connection, but generally it's non-romantic and non-sexual. And generally you don't lust for them, unless you're doing a little friends with benefit situation. And then there is infatuation, which infatuation and romantic love, that gets confused very easily, because in a relationship, when you're connecting with someone and you really desire them, it can be very intoxicating and you're like, oh my god, I'm in love with this person, but it's really infatuation. This is where it's a relationship where it's exciting and new. It can be sexual, or it can even be a crush where you fantasize about the person. Generally, it is just a fantasy type relationship of what it could be. There's no real groundwork of trust and deep connection yet. There is this lust where it's an intoxicating feeling and a desire to be with this person, but it's generally not long lasting. Like when that fantasy kind of goes away, when the passion dies a little bit, then you'll see if you really love this person, or if it really was just lust, where it was this exciting new thing. And then finally, romantic love. Romantic love is something that grows over time. It's where you go through experiences with someone and it bonds you guys together, and you're able to form a foundation where there's trust and there's security and stability. It's a mutual trust where you make them a part of your life and vice versa. When you make them a part of your life, it means making them feel valuable and wanted and appreciated. It's a place where you guys can laugh and bring out the best in each other and support one another. Love is seeing someone's flaws, seeing their vulnerabilities, and accepting and loving them anyway. And I don't mean toxic traits. I mean their flaws, like maybe they cry a little too much, or maybe they can't clean up after themselves. You'll be able to see through that and say, I accept this person and I love them. In order to really love someone, you have to love yourself and feel really secure in yourself, because if you don't, if you're really insecure in yourself or you don't love yourself, you're going to project that out onto others. You're not going to really be able to truly love someone because you don't have that foundation of love in yourself. You don't know what love is. So you have to really love yourself in order to be able to give that love to somebody else. And so it's important to feel secure with yourself, so that way you make it a place where that other person can feel secure and you guys can feel secure together. And it's not this insecurity of, you know, oh, you're gonna abandon me, oh, are you gonna cheat? Like, there's always uncertainty, but love is being able to be vulnerable with that person and accept that's a possibility, but trusting them enough to want to take that risk with them. And that's what's really important in love, is that there is those vulnerabilities, and you are vulnerable with one another, and you accept those vulnerabilities about each other. Generally, love is the decision to stick by that person and want to be a part of a team. It's really a decision, it's a choice. You can't choose who you love, but you can choose how you want to love someone, and if you want to stick by this person, if you want to grow with them, if you want to be a part of a team, if you want to invest in this person. Love is investing in somebody. It's taking care of each other. It's not just about what can they do for you, but also what are you willing to sacrifice for them. In love, there are sacrifices, there are compromises. So what are you willing to sacrifice for this person in order to be with them? It doesn't mean sacrificing yourself to the point where it's negative, where it will have a negative impact on you. And it doesn't mean rid yourself or sacrifice important values of yourself. It means picking and choosing times to focus on yourself and times to put yourself to the side to attend to them and their needs. It means seeing someone and seeing certain things that are important to them and ridding your ego to provide that for them. So what do you guys think? Leave it on in the comments below. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. And you're making me nervous. Are you copying me or are you mocking me? I'm a crab. You have common insurance. You have common insurance.